We're looking at algebraic solution of linear inequality in one variable. So if you guys don't remember the word solution, it has to do with set of values which makes the statement, the final answer, to be a true statement, right? And solution of an inequality in one variable is a value of the variable which makes it a true statement. So first thing is we need to recall what's a true statement. So something like this, 10 is greater than 4. A true statement. 10 is greater than 4. That's true. Minus 10 is less than minus 1. A true statement, right? A negative number further away from the 0 is lesser than the one which is closer to 0. Is it not? Now, then what does a false statement look like? Yes, you can guess it. Something like 10 is less than 4 or minus 10 is greater than minus 1. Okay. So before I show you guys how to find the solution of an inequality, let's look at or recall how do we use to find the solution of linear equation. So let's move in an organized manner. So this is the question. So you guys are used to the idea of transposing and all of that, but the actual method is something like this. We need to subtract with a value which takes away the numerical aspect. Right? The agenda is we need to find what is 1x. 1 of x, how much is that? So to do so, we need to start eliminating the numerical aspect around the variable. So in this case, it's 9. So we'll subtract with minus 9 both the sides. So thus eliminating this, and we have 2x is equal to 11. Right? And then we divide with 2 both the sides. And so we have x is equal to 5.5. So the value of 5.5 over here is a solution, is it not? So 5.5 into 2 is 11 plus 9, which is 20. So 20 is equal to 20 is a true statement, and that's 5.5 is a solution. And that's how you guys do solution for a linear equation. So the rules that we followed over here, summarized over here again, is the following. So the rules is equal numbers may be added to or subtracted both the sides of the equation. That's what we did over here. That was your rule number 1. The rule number 2 is both sides of an equation may be divided or multiplied by the same non-zero number, and that's what we did over here. Right? So this was your general rule for your linear equation. Very simple. The same funda is followed over here. Not too different, but there is one exception. Very important exception. That's why I made a video which is this long. Right? Let's look into this. Rules for solving an inequality. Rule number 1. Equal number may be added or subtracted both the sides of inequality without affecting the sign of the equation. What does that mean? Something like this. So this is an example of rule number 1. So we have x plus 10 greater than 22. So like in inequality, what did we do? We'll subtract with minus 10. And so we'll end up with x is greater than 12. Right? As simple as that. So all the values which are greater than 12 is a solution. For example, 13. 13 plus 10 is 22. 23. 23 is greater than 22. Yes. As simple as that. So rule number 1 is quite simple. Rule number 2. Both sides of an inequality can be multiplied or divided by the same positive number. But this is what is very important. I'll give it a star before reading itself. When both the sides are multiplied or divided by a negative number, the sign of inequality is reversed. Okay. So for that, I have 2 examples over here. So let's look at this. We have minus 2x greater than 10. So traditionally, what do? We divide with minus 2 both the sides. But when I'm dividing it with minus 2, I should change the sign. Why? I'll explain. So this is what we have to do. So what do we end up with? So we end up with x is less than minus 5. Right? Is this correct? So this is what we have to do. Let's verify our understanding, let's take up a number to verify our understanding and what we are doing is correct. Verification. So let's consider let x be equal to minus 6. So when we solve it, let us have a look. Minus 2 times of minus 6, is it less than minus 10? Sorry, plus 10? It is. 12 is less than, 12 is greater than, my bad, the question is greater than. Even I was thinking, why is that it's wrong? This is the question now. So 12 is greater than 10, yes, it's true. You take, like, say a value which is not satisfying this condition. Say 1. If I substitute 1, minus 2 into 1, which is minus 2, is greater than 10, it's a false statement. This is a true statement. Right? If I had not flipped this symbol, we have not got this condition, and the answer, if not for the flip, would have been a false statement if I had not flipped this. Don't worry, I'll explain the reasoning behind it, but you have to flip is a point that you guys have to remember. I'm just making that point with set of examples. Minus x by 3 is less than 10. This is the question. The next step would be, I'll be going with minus x by 3 and 10. I'm multiplying minus 3 both the sides. Since I'm multiplying with a negative number, right, multiplication and division of negative number doesn't matter. You have to flip the sign. It was less than, I made it greater than. Say it was less than or equal to, say I change the question. Even then you have to do this, greater than or equal to. Okay, and now we have x greater than or equal to minus 30. So I can take up any value which is greater than or equal to minus 30. It will satisfy this condition. Let's verify it. Verification. So let's talk about let x, let me change the color. Let x be equal to, say, 4. No, let me take it as some number which is divisible by 3, 9. So this will satisfy this condition, that's true. And then we have 9 minus 9 by 3 less than or equal to 10. It is so, right? Minus 3 is less than or equal to 10. It's a true statement. Remember, it's less than or equal to. It's an or, not and, right? So it's a true statement. Let me take up one more value with a different color. Let me take up a value, say, equal to minus 40 or 42. So remember, this value is not satisfying the condition. Note, x is not satisfying. X is greater than or equal to minus 30. Why is that I am taking this example? You guys will see, so that we understand the concept, of course. So the question is minus 42 by minus 3 is less than or equal to 10, right? Yeah. So what happens over here? Negative by negative is positive. Then this is 1s are 4s are 14, 3s are, yeah, less than or equal to 10. Obviously, it is not true. So this is a false statement. So you can see that the flipping gives us the answer. Without flipping, the answers are wrong. Now I'll explain the reasoning with not exactly, I think this will help you guys understand. My students do understand. So obviously you guys are also my student at the same age and the same mentality. So this will help you guys understand. Let's look at the reason. Let me take up some easy number. 14 is greater than 2. True. I'm going to multiply minus 1 both sides. So what happens? Minus 14 and minus 2. So we know that minus 2 is greater than minus 14. Is it not? So does this help visualize what we're talking about? Right? So basically, if I take a number line, And if I talk about this being 0, this being say 2 and this being 14, obviously 2 is closer to 0 than 14. So 2 is smaller than 14. While if I flip all of this, right? So if I happen to flip this, okay, if we happen to flip this, what happens? This is minus 2, this is minus 14. Minus 2 is closer to 0 than minus 14. So obviously minus 2 is greater than minus 14. Right, guys? So I hope all of this helped you guys to understand why is that we have to flip. And you have to flip is one more point that you have to remember. So the first part, you need to write the heading. Other things, writing or not, it's left to you guys. But from here, you guys have to write everything.